It just doesn't.
Just a heads up, YouTube really don't like this video, so I've had to go through censoring the odd word here and there with this ding.
Matt Rose is back.
Keep them happy. All worth it though, because this video is very funny. I remember watching Titanic as a kid, and Jack referenced a
one-legged prostitute.
I asked my mum what a
Prostitute was,
and she said it was someone who sold their body. For the longest time, I thought prostitutes cut off their body parts, like their legs, and sold them out of desperation. A couple of years later, I had a camp counsellor who was a double amputee. I very sincerely asked him if he was a prostitute. He didn't even respond. I still cringe so hard thinking about it to this day. I mean, I think we all did stuff like this as a kid. My mum was horrified when my little cherub face erupted with the C word, thinking it was on par with calling someone, I don't know, a twit. Because you pick up bad words from films, songs, even YouTube videos. As a young girl, I heard the word testicles on Fear Factor. They had to eat bull testicles. One day, when I was about 5, my friend's dad was pushing us on the tyre swing. I yelled, "Wee! Hiya! It's making my testicles tickle!" I was in middle school. I heard this cool new word, and I had no idea what it meant. I thought I would try it out at home later that day, and when Mum asked me to take out the trash, I said, "What do you think I am? Some kind of slut or something?" The Simpsons movie came out when I was 5. My dad let me watch it with him.
Perfect.
The next day, we went to my parents' friend's house, and I screamed, "Bountiful penis!" because I stubbed my toe.
Bountiful penis! Amen!
Pie. When I was younger, I heard The Rock say it, and the crowd would laugh.
A great big piece of that poontang pie?
So I just thought it was a funny type of pie. I asked my mum for some for Thanksgiving.
Oh no.
Phallic meant gothic or dark for some reason. I suggested to someone at church that a coffin seemed kind of phallic. My mum walked into the room, asked what I was watching. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Charlie's dad had just got laid. Excuse me? Yeah, he got laid. I feel bad for him. Now they don't have any money. Oh, laid off. The expression is laid off. Not me, but my sister used to lap her drinks up like a dog. One time they forgot to bring her a straw at the restaurant we were in, and she loudly screamed, "Oh, guess I'll do it doggy style." This one from my block came up to me and my friend playing ball. He had a cramp or something and said, "Oh, man, I've got a boner in my rib." A friend of mine used to say pap smear all the time, thinking it was just a synonym for when something gets obliterated or smashed. He'd say, "The guy totally just got smushed
in a big pap smear."
A little boy to his mother probably heard it on a gaming stream. "Oh, clap your cheeks." One time when I was 11 or 12, I was at Blockbuster and saw a copy of Condemned: Criminal Origins for rent, and asked my mum if I could rent this cool game called Condemned: Criminal Orgies. I was around 7, I think. "Mum, careful. If you put on too much makeup, you'll look like a whore." When I was a kid, I used the word urinate instead of alternate. I would always tell people I was urinating between tasks, and I would also tell people that when I grew up, I was going to urinate between New York City and my hometown. I used to confuse diary with diarrhea.
Oh no.
You can imagine how this became an issue when I told my kindergarten class how much I love my
diarrhea.
Oh, it's just so pretty and has this fresh smell. I love writing and drawing in it. My mum gave me my pink diarrhea. Erotic. I confused it with erratic. When I was 7 or 8, my mother heard me call my brother's behaviour erotic. And told me that the word, it didn't mean what I thought it meant. She was right. Vagina. I watched The Last Austin Powers, and for some reason I related the word vagina with a gobble of a chicken. I went up to my mum, put my chin down to squish up my neck fat, and proceeded to ask, "Hey mum, does this look like a vagina?" When the South Park movie came out on VHS, I begged and begged my mum to let me watch it. She watched a couple of the earlier episodes and decided it would probably be safe.
Oh
she regretted
no.
her decision when I asked curiously while having Sunday dinner at my grand's house what a clitoris is. Apparently once when I was like 2 or 3, I was in the corner of the living room playing by myself when someone waddled over to where my dad was sitting in his chair, crawled up into his lap, grabbed his collar and said in a rather serious voice, "I'm gonna knock the out of you." My mum politely asked my little sister to get up and grab something for her. While handing it to her, she replied, "Here." My teacher once told my class that her son came home from his first day in school and said, "Do you know what I learned today, mum?" You. Brother-in-law at Thanksgiving. "Hi, niece. Would you like some turkey?" Blonde-haired, blue-eyed 4-year-old niece. Turkey. "Excuse me? Oh, didn't you hear? I said turkey." I thought was synonymous with honk, so you could your horn at someone while driving. "Hey babe, let's honk." Lenny face emoji. A kid I know once used as a dinosaur noise. I was waiting in the car with my then 5-year-old daughter while her dad loaded groceries in the trunk. She looks at me all excited and said, "Mummy, I have a great idea. Let's surprise Daddy when he gets in the car and yell out, 'Hey, you motherfucker!'" I once told my grandma to off, because I thought that's what you say to people when they're leaving. When I was pretty small, around 4 or 5 years old, I was in the car with my family, and out of nowhere, I just called my grandma a out of all the things I could have said, I called her
a pussy.
When I was a child of maybe 3 or 4, my dad was driving me somewhere. We got cut off, and my dad flipped them off and called them a head. Fast forward a few days, and my mother tells me to pick up a mess. I wasn't having any of that. I flipped her off and called her a head.
Wow.
My daughter, 7, and I were driving one day, trying to make a left turn, but there was a guy on a bicycle in the way.
How?
In the back seat, I hear, "Now what's this doing?" Once while we were stuck in stop-and-go traffic on our way home from daycare, my 2-year-old son said, "What a
clusterfuck."
Wrong skull emoji. My little brother announced that he had to take a booty call and ran to the bathroom during dinner.
Oh no.
I thought a brothel was a soup kitchen. When I was younger and someone would get in like an instant karma situation, I used to innocently yet enthusiastically say, "That's what you get for sucking up the D," where D meant danger. I thought it was so clever. It got me some weird looks from my parents.
I would
When
imagine
I was little, I thought condoms were a type of battery. I ate a lot of apples and saw apples as a way to refresh my energy. When the apples ran out once, I told my mum, "We need more condoms." Yeah, pretty sure my neighbours just heard me yell that out. I thought foreskin meant skin in general. I mean, there's forearm, forehead, etc. I got hit on the shoulder and yelled, "Ow! My foreskin!" You know that song? "You give me fever." Yet I misheard, was belting out, "You give me fever in the morning, beaver all through the night." Beaver! Oh, sorry, sudden visceral personal flashback to being a little kid singing that "I'm horny, horny, horny" all night long song, thinking the lyrics were "I'm haunted, haunted, haunted."
I'm haunted, 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 haunted.
I was complimenting my friend on the specific parts he played and wanted to say that he was a beast, but I ended up saying, "Oh, you've got that," without knowing what that word meant. I was a girl in Catholic school, and I thought, "Thou shalt not commit adultery" meant, "Well, you'd better not think like an adult." So I confessed to it multiple times.
Oh
Third
no.
grade teacher broke her leg. Everyone wrote cards to her while she was in the hospital. Wrote "rest in peace" on mine, but I thought it meant wishing someone peaceful recovery.
Wow.
Crying face emoji. At my cousin's funeral, as I was standing near my mum and my aunt, and they were commenting how young he was and how unfair it was. I was 12, said, "So young he'd never felt
the warmth of a woman."
I thought euthanize was euthanize and meant to make someone younger. Telling grandma she needed to be euthanized did not go over well during Christmas dinner.
No.
I used to mix up terrorist and tourist when I was younger, and whenever I went to a foreign place, I'd say, "I'm a terrorist." I was trick-or-treating as a prisoner. Someone asked me what I was in jail for. I was in the
Why am I sneezing so much?
Face emoji. I had no idea at the time. When I was 12 or so, I remember hearing the word, and I'll keep that word hidden for now, it'll be revealed at the end of the post. I don't remember where, I just knew I heard the word and I thought it sounded so cool. So me, being the cool kid I was, I wanted to show it off. I didn't have a clue of what it was.
Oh gosh.
All I knew was that it was fun to say. So, everyone's sitting at the dinner table. Mum, dad, older brother, his friend, and my younger brothers. After some conversation, it dies down and just gets quiet since everyone's eating, and I'm like, "All right, now's your time to shine," and just shouted loudly at the table, "Syphilis!" My mum just staring at me with a horrified look on
I did
her
not
face.
think that's where I was
My
going.
boyfriend's a rod munch. I was 4. In 6th grade, I called my friend a rat hymen in front of his mum without knowledge of what it meant. She was like, "Anon, I don't know where you heard that, but never say it again." When I was about 12, I read it in a book. I didn't know what it was. I called my mother a dried up old 7th or 8th
Brilliant.
kid, heard a dirty joke, didn't get it, told the teacher in class, "Hey miss, what's better than 2 roses on a piano? Tulips on an organ." I told my 8th grade health teacher to, quote, "twiddle my I thought it was one of those expressions like, "I'll be damned."
Oh, twiddle my twat.
My friend thought meant pee. Asked our teacher for a restroom break, saying, "I got a Excuse me, Mr. Teacher, sir. May I take it on this fine morning? I thought the term busting a nut meant sitting on your balls wrong. So at the dinner table, I mentioned how I almost busted a nut from how the bus ride from school was so bumpy.
Oh, no.
I thought meant thinking real hard about something or fixating over something. Yeah, I think you were getting that confused with ruminating. God, I hope that doesn't cause any embarrassment down the line. Well, when we went and visited my grandparents...
Well, kids say the darndest things, don't they? I can't think of any from me as a kid. I can't remember me saying any weird stuff. I never did. Never.